Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am the Plant Bender, and today's video is a little bit different. I am going to show you my misses that I've made as a plant parent. These guys are not living their best life. They are not live, laugh, loving. They are not girl bossing. They are struggle busing to the fullest. And I'm going to show you that not every day is luscious, beautiful green leaves when you try to be a good plant parent. So let's get into today's video. The first plant here, I have struggled with this plant now for probably a little over a year, and it is my Mandula Pothos. This is probably the third one of these that I have owned, and every time they die. I keep getting them from the same place, so I don't know if that's the issue or if it's me. I kind of treat them like every other pothos. I, water them when they're dry. I, have them on a regular watering schedule. But even prior to winter, as you can see, the leaves are always falling, always drying up and dying. He's pretty bare back here. He's not doing well. It almost looks like he's like molting. The leaves get really brown and soft, and it never stops. He's never actually given me really any new growth. He just kind of looked like this and then died. So if you guys have any tips, maybe I'm doing something wrong. He gets pretty decent light. He's not in super high light, but he's not in any low light. He's probably about 4 feet from a window there. But compared to my other pothos that are in dark corners, like I have one back there on that wood plank, that the only light it really gets is from the hutch right here. And it's putting out new leaves all the time. So I don't know if it's just this species or what. I also have issues with the pearls and jade pothos, so I don't know. Maybe it's just something I'm doing, but if you guys have any ideas on the help, greatly appreciate it. Leave any comments down below. The second one here. Now this one is a little different. I think this might be a winter thing. And this is my Alocasia Silver Dragon. Because as you can see, he had beautiful leaves. He's been thriving all spring, summer. I've had him for about a little over a year. And within the past probably month or two, like this was a brand new leaf, came out healthy, and now it's just dry, brittle. This leaf, dead. This leaf, dead. Whoops. This one's dying. It had like 3 or 4 other leaves. It just died. It does have new growth coming, like it has these new little babies come in. So I don't know, like, what happened. I thought it was a humidity issue, but he lives in the hutch behind me, which is humidity controlled. It's usually never below probably 65% humidity, and that's honestly on a low. It's usually around 75-80% humidity. I have a black velvet that lives in there, some my anthurium crystallinums live in there, and they're all doing fine. This guy, I'm hoping that the new growth is a sign that he's just losing these mature leaves and he'll grow and be a brand new pretty specimen, because he was gorgeous. So I think he's more of a winter issue. I think he's just going through a little hibernation kind of winter change, because I am in Pennsylvania. It is very cold. It's been like 20s here. It's like a blizzard outside right now. So I think that's just kind of what I'm experiencing with him. Hopefully I'll have an update in the spring and he will look a lot better. The third plant here.
A few moments later.
I think I kind of caused this, and it is my Philodendron Burkin. As you can see, she was a pretty girl. She was a big girl. She had a bunch of leaves. These are all dead leaves that have fallen off here. This leaf is dying. And I think I went from underwatering her to then overwatering her. And I think she might have root rot. I probably will have to take her out of here and check the roots and see what they're looking like, because like I said, the leaves just started yellowing really fast and then just getting soggy and stuff. And I have another one that's doing fine. It's like still putting out new leaves and everything. It's a lot smaller, but that one I kind of see more often. It's in an area where I check on those plants more regularly. So I think I kind of caused this one, but we'll see. I might just take her out of here, see what the roots look like. If she's looking good, maybe I'll cut her back a little bit, get rid of some of this stuff, and put her in, some new soil, dry her out a little bit, and see what happens to that. I will say I also, though, with this plant specifically, I got it and I loved it, But I think through like the year and a half that I've had it, I've kind of fallen out of love with it, and that's kind of my fault, you know. I do have some other philodendrons that I'm just obsessed with, that I kind of spend a lot of time with, so she kind of just like sits and it's just kind of there, and I know that's kind of my problem, and I think that happens to a lot of plant parents. We kind of forget about some plants, or we get overwhelmed with the number of plants in our collection. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll have an update soon, see what her roots look like. Maybe I'll take her out later and see what those roots look like. Number 4, Truby Moonlight. Now, I know I'm not the only person who has had problems with this plant. I've seen a few accounts talk about the trials and tribulations of owning this plant. It is so temperamental. This was a full bush. Also, I know the pot, a little controversial, but it was in a big box store, and I really wanted this plant. When I bought, I've had this plant for probably 2 years, and this is what I'm left with. At one point I had lost everything up here, and I just had this vine, and then this vine was kind of going. I think it might have been a watering issue on my point. I think I was letting it dry out too much. But now I'm on a more consistent watering plan, and it's giving me some new growth, but it's still not thriving. Like, it's giving new growth, but then there's like small leaves, and these leaves die, and so I don't know if this is something I'm going to keep. I took a bunch of cuttings from it to try to propagate some new plants, maybe get a healthier root system out of some, you know, some seedlings, but we'll see. Any ideas with this would be greatly appreciated, because it is a beautiful plant when it is healthy and lush. I love the, you know, the kind of light silvering colors on the leaves, so we'll see about him. He's still a work in progress right now. And finally, if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen this plant already, and it's probably the saddest plant in my collection right now, and it is my gins, or my gin at this point, because easily I don't even know. This was like a lush little guy, nothing too extravagant, but it was beautiful, really nice, and then all of a sudden he just started dropping leaves left and right. All the leaves fell out, all the new growth that was growing in was just dying. I don't think it was a watering issue. I was keeping him on a regular water schedule. I was watering when he needed it. This happened. This is all that's left. This little vine, I'll insert some pictures, is still alive, because I do see some new growth, I think, trying to come in here. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I cut a piece of the vine off to try to propagate it at a node, and it does have some roots growing in water. So I'm hoping eventually by springtime I can have a nice little something to actually show that actually looks like a mican and not like a dead vine in a pot struggling to live its best life, because at this point, this doesn't make me look like a very good plant parent. But thank you guys so much for coming, watching. These were my 5 houseplants that are not living their best life. Let me know below plants that you're struggling with, things that maybe you've done to bring these plants back to life, or other plants that you have that are struggling, and like, comment below. Thanks.